least we can let the. I need to get a light in here. Well, good night, Rob. Good night, Rob. The replay will be available. Tell me he going to bed. Guess Canadians do go to sleep early. So
Rob, no, he don't sleep.
Yep. Man, hey, I hear you, Rob. I hear you. Luka got his numbers as he always will, but he had a pretty bad turnover that pretty much put the game away. And I at this point I have no words for Jason Tatum.
I don't think his teammates have no words for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you talk about saved by momentum from your team. Jason Tatum is one of the luckiest dudes on the planet right now.
Man, I swear. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get started, man. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dennis Sports. I am one of your hosts tonight, Kenneth B. Inch. Joining me, I got Sheldon J. I'm not riding solo tonight.
What's happening? What's happening?
What up? What up? Tweets open doors. I do not think this is going to be a sweep. Dallas will play better when they go home. The others will be much more relaxed. They'll be comfortable. They know the rims. They'll be in their beds and stuff like that.
Yes.
They should definitely get a game. Like, so I wouldn't overreact to what we saw, but we can. Game one, we typically throw those out, right? Most fill out games. Game 2 and 3 are where you kind of really start to see the teams, play these little different chess moves and really know each other. And we saw that tonight. Dallas came out hot. I didn't get a chance to catch the first quarter because I was at the studio and I thought I could watch it up there, but I'm logged in here. So, but I saw Dallas was up early, 13-something, and Kyle mentioned that they were going to play more aggressive, and they did. I think, but by the time I got home, it was Celtics up by 1 or 2. And one of the key stats in the first half was the three-point shooting, and they were up in the game, missing threes. So it didn't really spell. It wasn't a good look for Dallas, and Doncic was doing all the work, and yeah, it just kind of at some point things were going to reverse to the mean. But I think one of the things that I noticed, Shelton, is when I caught up on everything that was going on and I looked at the box score, it was Tatum. He had only made one shot. He was making these goofy ass turnovers and all kind of other stuff. And I'll give him credit. He was making assists. I think he had 6 or 7 assists, or 5. No, I think he had 6 or 5 by the time I turned it on. He got up to 7, so he was going to easily get a double at least. But I kept waiting for the moment, man. And it was a Drew Holiday show in the first half. Mm-hmm. And I think but Tatum's gonna have to show up, bro. Like, he's gonna have to show up. They will need him. And if he is that guy that everybody's been swearing he is, I know he's had moments. I know he's put up 50 piece and losing efforts and this, that, and the other. But we judge players, and we'll probably have a deeper conversation Tuesday in these series, in these moments. And he tries, but he didn't come through. But nevertheless, the Celtics won, and they managed to win the game. And they were still playing their brand of basketball. And at some point, those threes were going to start falling. And they started hitting some key threes when they needed it. But what was it, Shelton? They were up by 12, 13?
Yeah, 12.
Mavs went on a 9-0 run. Tatum tried to drive through the hoop, got blocked, took a jumper, missed that. And who came to the rescue? Jason Kidd, no.
Oh man, Tatum got hung on that dunk. I was like, man, this is not your time, bro. He may be watching the news and media too, and can see. Oh, yeah, what up, Nick?
What's going on?
But yeah, I was saying it in the first quarter, Dallas should have been up double digits in the first quarter. Poor free throw shooting in the first half, and a lack of self awareness on defense. They got into foul trouble early, and Boston was in the penalty. Free throw shooting in the first half is what separated the two teams. Matter of fact, in the whole game, if you look at it and you break it down, free throw shooting and just poor execution is the difference in this series. So I'm not shocked at the outcome, but like you said, Tatum is going to have a moment in this series. He's going to have to. Otherwise, you can dead all that talk.
Yeah, I mean, he did other things, and yeah, he forced the turnover on Kyrie, but so what? Like, where was he at? Did he get that block like Derek White did? And that was a
No,
great play. He needed to do something. He wasn't doing shit else.
right.
So that yeah.
And they should know Kyrie is not going to get a pass. In our chat, I was saying it the whole time. I don't know if Kyrie is. I don't know what's going on with Kyrie, but
It's
fumbling the ball around.
it's whenever he played Boston, it's like the ghost of racism is guarding him more than anything.
Yeah, it's
Because
him.
he legit, like, if you watching these playoffs, it's like you would think this is like a first round series by the way he playing, because like by now you would have thought like he's been cooking all playoffs, and then all of a sudden now he played Boston. It's like he don't even know how to play.
He's
Been
nervous.
playing well in the playoffs. He only showed up against Minnesota because of Ant Edwards.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can
we
hear
hear
you.
you.
I wish
What up, what up?
somebody would. What up, Kyle?
Nicholas.
Bruh, I was about to say, you passed your bedtime tonight, my boy.
Yo, Ken, what's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Chilling.
Good to see
Cal,
y'all boys.
tell the people why Jaylen Brown is the best player in this series so far.
I mean, he's shown up. The other guy that gets paid 250 something million, he hadn't shown up yet. I'm waiting on him to show up.
I feel like this is like, I feel like Tatum is somebody that we keep talking about him like he's done something, that we are like trying to remind ourselves like he can still do that. When we look back at his career, he's never done anything when it comes to the big moments. And Jaylen Brown consistently shows up and sets the tone for this team. Whenever it's coming down to them getting the dub or them needing something, some type of spark, he does it early, does it often.
Yeah.
And I think that just Tatum is just a glorified number 2 right now.
Yeah.
He's a super glorified number.
I think Tatum does it. I just think it's not consistent, and it's not in the moments where we want him to do it. Like,
that sounds like a number 2 to me, don't it?
Yeah. He's been a
here's
number
the thing.
2 in the series.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, if you watch the Celtics throughout the season, he had games where he carried him. I mean, he was in the MVP discussion, but at the bigger moments, like, he just seems to disappear, or he just kind of seems to float in these games. I don't understand it, because it's not just this particular series. It's been his career.
And that's why I say like he's been consistently inconsistent his whole career when it comes to that next level. Not him being like he's an all-star, he's top 10 in the league. I think we know that. But it's kind of like we talk about Paul George. Somebody mentioned, I think I was listening to somebody and they was mentioning like he's more Paul George than anybody else. Where it's just like seems like he has all the talent in the world. It seems like he models his game more after Paul George than Kobe. And it just gets you those results to where it's like he's still doing his thing on the defensive end. I mean, we seen some highlight plays from him, but at the same time, it's like
almost triple double.
Yeah, but it's also like you're never impressed, is what I'm saying. You never come away impressed like this is one of the best dudes in the league type shit. Like it's always just more of like he's a contributor to a team.
He's definitely a contributor. He's definitely a contributor, and he benefits from the fact that he has 4 other guys out there on the floor with him at all times that can make plays. And at different times in these games, it's been a different person that stepped up for Boston that made a difference. And out of those, sometimes out of those 5, he's the least of those. I was very impressed with who else. Drew Holiday played a heck of a game on both ends.
Drew Holiday may be Finals MVP if he keep playing the way this.
No, he didn't have a good first game.
Jaylen Brown is Finals MVP.
Yeah, it's been
Drew
Jaylen Brown.
Holiday.
I'm saying
Drew
like Ken, like
Holiday-
moving forward, Ken, like the way he played tonight. That was really
he got to
key.
catch up. He got to catch up to JB though.
But how much did JB have this game?
I think
he had 22.
I feel like
21.
He's
21.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday
Yeah,
had more points. He had more points and rebounds, but in the big moments we talk about, we watched Jaylen Brown just lead this team on both ends of the floor. And Derek White played good. Every piece.
Derek White did not play good.
He did decent. Derek White had a decent game on both ends of the floor. He had 18, and he had a couple key stops. He was in there sticking his nose in there a couple times. So in saying that, they have key contributors at different times that step up. Different points of the game. Everybody has made it's like a chess move, and it's been working in their favor.
Were you guys surprised that Boston pulled this game out, that they were able to win this game?
No, I'm not surprised.
No, not really. No.
Yeah, and I said it early before y'all could say I'm flip flopping or anything, but I had Boston winning this series because I feel like people just forgot that they're a very dominant team when they want to be. It's the times that the reason why people don't believe them is because they've been already so close so many times and they just haven't got over the hump. But they're a very dominant team. I think for me, was the surprising thing is that they can guard. The best thing about that team, they don't have to switch or they don't have to double. They could just switch. They got so many people that you could just switch with. Like that, that's throwing off Dallas. They only had 2 lobs this whole game, this whole series. I think. And
well, it's easier to do that when those guys when they're not finishing at the rim. They're not finishing at the rim, and that lob is not there. And then you got PJ Washington out there shooting threes. The other guy, their other bigs, they have pretty much been non-existent. And I mean, again, it's easy to say, okay, Luka, go ahead and get your 30 or 35 if Kyrie's going to shoot 2 for 57. So I mean,
I don't know what's going. Somebody took his. What was that off of Space Jam? What they take?
That's it.
His little his Monstar.
They're playing good defense on him, man. It's a lot. Drew Holiday locking him
up. I think. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead, Cal.
I think it's in his head, man. I hate to say that, but I think it's in his head, especially when you get to the point. Because did you hear his press conference the other day? He was like, "Yeah, I haven't beaten them since I left." I mean, that's not something that a player of his caliber, I think, should even be bringing up in a press conference. Now, if a reporter asks you that, and you be like, "Well, nah, I played on different teams," you can find a politically correct way to say it. I think I don't even know if the boos have gotten to him, but tonight, man, he started out aggressive and then he just kind of started getting passive as the game went on. And I know that in the previous series, against Minnesota, he didn't start off well in any of the games, but he picked it up as the game went along and he was able to close out. Against this team, you can't afford to do that because if they're letting their bigs take jumpers and stuff like that, and you're saying, okay, well, hey, we're going to give these guys these open shots and they're not making those shots. You got to put up some points. And he's not aggressive enough. And I know that they're throwing different bodies at him and everything like that. But that coupled with the fact that as well as Luka's played, Luka almost had a quadruple double because he almost had double-digit turnovers. His turnovers have been terrible. His turnovers have been terrible tonight. And tonight was no exception. He was really bad with the ball. And you can't afford to turn the ball over like that against a team like Boston.
And even though I called him out in the chat and said, who the hell told him that he should be on this stage? Josh Hart had a good quote when he said that this was the game that Dallas should have won. Boston was shooting less than 30% or 29% from 3. Tatum was off as we say as usual, but Tatum was off. You weren't really getting that much from Porzingis this game like you did game 1. Like it was just like this was a game that they could have won. And then even at the end, like the end was super close. Like it was much closer than what people thought it was going to be. Because Boston took their foot off the gas because they thought they already had the game wrapped up. But this should have been like if Kyrie even scores 20, 25, then this is a whole different, you go back to Dallas, maybe tied up
16.
Yeah, like so it's just I don't know. I don't know where Dallas, home cooking, like the series could turn. I mean, we've seen that happen before, but so far, like the mood has been like they've been getting smothered by Boston's defense. Like that defense is like we thought Minnesota had a great defense coming into the latter part of these playoffs, but Boston, man.
You know, the one thing I noticed is that they stick to their game plan. And what I mean by that is tonight they were 10 of 39 from three, 25%. I don't know if you're really going to you may get one other game like that, but they will reverse back towards the mean. And Dallas was at 23%. The difference, of course, was the free throw line, 66%
100%.
for Dallas and 95% for Boston.
And turnovers. It was the free throws and the turnovers. Like Kyle was saying, like when you look back at it, it was super careless turnovers, like stupid turnovers for the most of it.
I mean, think about that last scenario when it was like 4 minutes left in the game. Dallas is up by Boston's up by like 5, and then Luka has that lazy turnover trying to throw the ball up the court. If they keep the ball and score in that possession, now you're down 3 with less than like 2 or 3 minutes left to go. I mean, like you're still in that game. And so it's just like you can't keep this you're not playing against Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? This is the Boston Celtics. They are here in the finals for a reason. And you just can't keep shooting yourself in the foot. And I mean, like, like I said, getting 16 from Kyrie. I'm looking at the box score now. Lively got you 2. You got 13 from Gafford. Jones gave you 11. But, you're going to need more from PJ Washington. Obviously, Luka's going to do what he's going to do, but Kyrie has to play better. What I'm thinking is I'm interested to see how well Kyrie plays at home. You already know the role players from Dallas are going to play well at home. What's going to be the key, I think, in this game is I think Brown is going to show up in Dallas. Will Tatum show up in Dallas? That's the question I have.
Right. I gave up on the Tatum. Yeah. I've been trying to tell people about Tatum. Well, more
He's
so
gonna turn it around, y'all.
More so that Brown is the leader. That you saw all the mic'd up moments. It's Brown talking to the team, talking like, hey, they selling this. They leaning into this whole Brown is the leader, and he go fuck around and I mean he already getting paid the most in the NBA right now. So it's just like. From when you're looking at the money from just the eyeball test, it looks like this is Brown's team.
Yeah, and he's more comfortable in that role. It just seems like he's comfortable doing that. He's a brilliant guy anyway. The dude's a rocket scientist, but you can tell he's got that leadership ability more so than Tatum. So I would look towards him more for leadership than I would Tatum anyway. But like you said, it's going to be important to see how aggressive Kyrie is. He normally starts games slow anyway, but we're going to need him to start fast this next game if they have any chance to turn this into a series. But I think he will. I think he's going to step up and play well. But this is about Kyrie. And yes, he can't get nervous.
I got 2 things for that, Sheldon. One is if Brown was that smart, he'll get his hair braided differently than what he got it now. And 2,
he let his sister braid his hair.
I don't know who he let braid his hair. But and 2,
they call Iverson's braider.
Somebody. 2, if Kyrie shows up like how he did these first 2 games in Dallas for game 3, somebody gonna say, bro, could you take them damn shoes off and put some American shoes on?
Yeah, we don't need no more moccasins. But yeah,
I got a question for y'all because this is something that somebody mentioned. I think it was Q mentioned in the chat. Has this been? I know it's only been 2 games, but has this been good, exciting basketball? I mean, like I feel like coming off the conference finals, it feels like a letdown. And I full disclosure, I did pick Dallas to win the series, and I don't think the series is over by any stretch of imagination. But I don't feel like we've seen 2 really good games. Like tonight, there were points in time, but it was real sloppy. Has this been? Y'all tell me, has this been good basketball?
No, it has not. And like I said, it's been ugly, partially because of Boston's defense, because they've been all over attacking on the floor. But it's been sloppy basketball. Missing free throws is ridiculous. All the turnovers, I think they had 18 turnovers to 10 for Boston. Just it's just been sloppy basketball. And we talked about 4 players. We talked about that at the beginning of this series, how there was 4 names that was going to stand out in this series. We've only gotten true. Well, to be honest, none of them have really been just to the point where we've been blown away, lights out, finals worthy moments. We haven't seen a finals moment really yet. So in saying that, It's not been good basketball. We haven't seen nothing that we're going to carry over and be showing highlights of 10 years from now. Nothing. We haven't seen that yet.
To me, going into like after that Denver Minnesota series, I was like, that's the finals right there. Like, you're not gonna get a better series than that moving forward. So like, I never. And then like, you look at these two franchises, like no one outside of Dallas, nobody gives a fuck about the Mavs. So they don't really have a big fan base. And then everybody hates Boston. Period. So it's just kind of like no one's really kind of even excited to watch these two franchises go at it. Now Luka's a good piece because he's the international piece and he's the white boy that's coming to save the NBA. But as great as he looked in this game in certain times, he's not. He's closer to getting swept than than anything else. And if Boston wins, then we're just gonna be like, okay, whatever, we're gonna move on.
Yeah. We won't be talking about this 2 years from now.
2 months from now. I don't think
you're right. You know, other than the fact there's really no storylines other than who's the leader of the team talk that we've been getting, but there's really no and Kyrie being hated by Boston. But even that's kind of like I said, until he steps up and sticks a dagger in him, you ain't gonna get much excitement from this. But I do think we're gonna have a moment at some point. I really do. I think that this is gonna be more of a series than it shows so far. I don't know. It's gonna
know. If they lose Game 3 in Dallas, bro, it's a wrap. I don't even give a fuck about this whole play. The rest of these
right. But like we said, they should have won this game. If you look at certain things, it was only this game. This game was a few free throws and a few less turnovers away from being a totally different story. Now that's saying a lot.
You can say that for any game.
Yeah. You still got to do it. But what I'm saying is these two teams are not as far apart as a 2-0 as a sweep.
I don't know, Shelton. I think they might be.
Y'all drunk that Dallas juice.
We'll get the answer in Game 3. But Nick, I tried to ask him some very, very good questions.
That's why I listened to the podcast, and that's why I was hot because y'all kept talking about Dallas. I'm like, bro, what the fuck has Dallas done? Y'all to talk about they beat an OKC team and they beat a tired ass Minnesota team. That's it.
That was the 1 and 2 seeds though, Nick.
First of all, no one believed in OKC because nobody said OKC was going to the. We would have been shocked if they would have went to
including people on the panel.
Yeah. And then Minnesota. No one thought Minnesota was going to the Western Conference Finals either because everybody thought that Denver was going to win. That's what I'm saying. Like everything played out the way it kind of was supposed to. Like it just. We're more shocked that Dallas even made it here, and then we're just riding in on the headlines of that because of Luka. You take Luka's name and his the pedestal that they're trying to put him on. You take that out of this, like, bro, he hasn't done anything that makes you think that no one should have went into this finals thinking that the Celtics should not be the favorites. That's what I'm trying to say. Because if you look at throughout their whole playoff run, they got the deepest squad in the NBA. It's just like. Who's on their bench? They got Porzingis coming off the bench. Nobody in Dallas is of Porzingis talent level coming off the bench.
And if we're honest, like I know Shelton, you said they should have won this game, but Celtics played awful, bro. That first half, that wasn't really their game. That wasn't what we've seen, at least what I've seen watching them in the playoffs. And they were trailing in the game. Luka had 23. He had 9 the rest of the game. And they were losing, and mainly because honestly, the Celtics were not hitting their 3-pointers. So Celtics played their game; they just didn't hit their shots. I don't know what else Dallas has to go to outside of home court advantage. So we'll see what Kid has up his sleeve next. But to answer your question, I think it's pretty much a little bit of what I expected. I'm really looking for, like, I like what Brown is doing. At times in this game, Derek White thought he was the second best player on the team with some of the shots he was taking. But he does that. That's how they play. I'm really honestly, we'll talk about it more Tuesday, but I'm really waiting for the Tatum moment, bro. I'm just waiting for it. And I hope it happens. I think, it's there. He's way too good to be playing this bad. So
we gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6 before we get that Tatum moment. So we gonna get Lauryn Hill gonna perform at Yankee Stadium before we get that moment. I'm
Hey,
trying
man,
to tell
I
y'all
think
that ship has sailed. Like, I need to quit. Y'all need to quit just trying to wish on that star.
hey, man, two wins without
I think
Tatum
if it's
even
gonna
doing his
happen, I think
thing.
it
So.
could happen in Dallas. Yeah.
Dallas gonna win
I
game
think if
3.
it's gonna happen, it could or probably should happen in Dallas. Because that's gonna be the biggest stage. Well, even if Dallas wins, I think Tatum still has to show up. He's got to be lights out because you can't. He's put up 2 stinkers pretty much. You know, I mean, like they tried to address it on the telecast and try to, well, he made a hustle play here. No, you haven't been. If you're the best player, you haven't shown it. You just haven't.
He's number 2. He's giving you number 2 stats, number 2 effort. That's all he's doing. He ain't doing shit for me that says that he could do more than this. Because if he could have, he would have.
The funny thing is, like Ken said, we came into the series talking about 4 players, and it's really just been about 2 players. Really, if we're being honest.
100%.
Yeah,
Brown and Luka. That's it.
And to be honest, those 2 have not been so. They have not been so separate from the crowd as you'd like to have seen. There has not been even with the way Brown has played, which he's been the number 1 guy in this whole series. He's still not head and shoulders above number 2 because game 1 was a Porzingis game. Game 2 was Drew Holiday game. It's really been kind of like.
Yeah. That's how good the Celtics are, bro.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, it's just like you're looking at a dominant team that's just kind of like, they don't have a flaw. Where's the flaw in the Celtics when they all click? They're not even clicking, and you don't really like. Imagine if they hit their free throw. I mean, if they hit 50% of their 3-point shots, this is a blowout.
Tatum is the flaw.
Well, how do y'all feel about?
Not really.
Y'all know I'm always looking at the coaches. How y'all feel about Mozzarella as his game plan going in these?
He called a really good timeout in this game. No, that's Jason Kidd. I'm sorry.
Jason Kidd did. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. But I know what the point you're talking about too, Ken. He really did.
I know. Exactly. He was right on time.
And it called one too, though. He did
on that run, bro.
Joe Mazzulla called a good timeout a couple times too, to stop Dallas runs, and it kind of got his team back on track, and he kept them. The good thing about what they're doing in Boston is they're staying with the game plan. There's no altering that, and you're seeing a lot of open shots from Boston players. That means they're executing at a high level. When you see as many open shots, because they're getting a lot of open shots. And those Tatum, I think, ended up with 12 assists, and those are easy assists.
I will say that Dallas gets open shots too. It's just that you're relying on PJ Washington and what's his name? Is it Derrick Jones?
Derrick Jones.
And who else is there? Those guys, they're not somebody who's gonna step up right now. They're gonna step up in Dallas. And then the Celtics, they just got all the great white boys that you can get in the playoffs at this point. So that's why they hitting. Dallas don't know what to do.
Yeah, the coach for the Celtics, he hasn't had to make any adjustments yet.
He hasn't. Nope, not yet.
Kidd is the one that's having to adjust to the Celtics, and so we haven't had to really see him coach, and we'll see if they can do that in game 3. Moving forward.
Kid may be out of tricks too, because I mean, you think about all those series that he went through just to get to the finals. It's kind of like how many other more adjustments can he make? I mean, he adjusted Timberwolves, he adjusted OKC. Then they played the Clippers. It was just kind of like that was a gauntlet, a pathway to kind of get through to get to this. And now you're facing arguably the second or first best defensive team in the league with 2 budding young stars. It's just like, I don't really know what does Jason Kidd do? Because if they don't get this the switches that they want or the double teams that they want that open up these shots, how do you create for PJ Washington? How do you create for Derrick Jones?
Well, Luka had some great passes tonight. That one he threw the Edson, bro.
He did.
That shit was crazy.
He did. He was, but it's just at the same time it's $1 million move, $2 shot if it bricks and Holiday or White are taking it the other way. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, how more creative can you get for guys who can't really create their own shot?
Well, I think I think
part of it is too. I think Dallas has to cut down on turnovers. I mean, and Luka's got to cut down on for somebody who has the ball as much as he does. you can't have 8 turnovers in a game. I don't care. I mean, that negates the 11 assists you got. You know what I'm saying? And they got to shoot better from the free throw line. I mean, they're 66% from the free throw line. You can't shoot like, I mean, they call them free throws for a reason. As far as your question about, you know, what they need to do as far as like what Kid could do differently, I'm not sure. I know we're going to find out, because here's the thing. Dallas, you mentioned OKC earlier. Dallas matched up better with OKC. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They matched up even better with the Timberwolves because they got the bigs and everything like that. Maybe, just maybe, that it's not a good matchup, particularly down low, because, you know, stars going to be stars. It's about your others. You know, Derrick Jones Jr., can he step out and guard Al Horford? Or can he step out and guard Porzingis? You know, those are the matchups that we're going to be looking at. Porzingis, I don't know if Porzingis is going to be any good come game 3, because he looked real bad tonight on that, you know, that bad leg. He'll have some time to kind of hit, but exactly. So
yeah, Porzingis
we'll see what the matchup is like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Porzingis out, that might help Dallas a little bit. Horford didn't even have much of a big game tonight, but at least
5 points.
They didn't need him.
Yeah,
they didn't need him to.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, they got till Wednesday. See what Porzingis is about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he still had 12, over 3 from 3-point. But either way it go, man.
That was a quiet 12, though. That was a quiet.
It
12.
It was very quiet. Yep.
Well,
I didn't even know he had 12.
He came in and he was making shots. Immediately he did what he always does. But like I said, he went down and you didn't see much after that. But yeah, he got him early. I saw him get him.
Yeah, I think who said that? Yeah, KB had a pretty good block, and so did Derek White and JB as well, which should have been a foul. Mm-hmm. I do agree with that.
Now he got hung. If we look at the replay, he got hung on the rim. And he played it off like he got blocked because he clanked right on the rim. He wasn't going nowhere in that. He heard them footsteps. Mm-hmm. He was scared.
Shout out to PJ Washington. No, PJ was really aggressive.
For what? What are you shouting him for? What the hell are you trying to give him credit for? This ain't because he participation.
Because he used to play for the Hornets.
He actually played decent though. He didn't have a bad game. PJ looked good to me.
He played better, but he's starting to give me. Who was that guy on the Suns?
He used to play for the Hornets. You know, Shelton gonna bump for him.
Yeah. I was gonna say he played more like 17. He played more like Eddie Murphy from the PJs.
No, man, come on, man. Go back and watch that game, man. No, PJ was. I ain't gonna let you do my boy PJ.
I was watching that game. That nigga was missing all his shots, bro. That justifies his space on the court. He missed all of them.
Nah, he was fine. Aggressive. He was better tonight. He just starting to feel himself a little bit too much.
Nah, yeah, he came in. Yeah, when he was on that live talking about I went from hell to heaven. That's what your baby mama said.
Right.
You can't say that until you win the title.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get ready to get out of here. I got some Superman, Rayshawn, bro. What are you doing? I got to stand on principle, bro. This man sent to. Go ahead.
No, what was you gonna say?
He's in a Trump members chat. He's been a member for 27 months, but I think he's trolling me, man, with his Trump endorsement talking about go vote. What you got?
Last question I got is so now they up 2-0, going to Dallas. Is this if they sweep Dallas? Let's just say they sweep Dallas. Boston sweeps Dallas. How are we looking at Dallas? How are we looking at Luka after this series? Because by Wednesday night, we could be talking about all right, let's because when they'll play again, maybe Saturday.
I would like to have that conversation if they're down 3-0. And here's why I say that. Remember, Suns-Bucks. Suns were up 2-0, right? And they didn't win another game in that series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same thing with the Mavs against the Heat back in 2006.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not time to have that conversation. Boston did what they're supposed to do. They went at home.
Right.
Can they? And they are a good road team, a really good road team.
But
So
Boston
they can go win in Dallas.
But Boston has a bad home record, though. That's the thing. Like going into the series, like I was more like I picked Boston in 7 because I expected Dallas to win this game because I knew they was gonna lose game 1 because they always give up game 1, but I thought they were gonna win game 2 because Boston doesn't really have a great home record, and they've been losing a lot of game 2s in the playoffs this season. But the fact that they are 2-0, it's just kind of like
they only lost 2 games.
No, but I'm saying
home
they did
record
what
in the
they're supposed to do.
playoffs.
I'm saying like the loss they had were game 2s, I think. So it's just like usually like when they dominate game 1, I feel like they take their foot off the gas. Like they damn near took their foot off the gas towards the end of this game. But I'm thinking like I'm already thinking ahead because I'm thinking like, bro, if they win game 3.
Nation pointed out Boston is undefeated on the road.
Like I don't know how. I mean, can Kyrie do a 4 games? Hey, if Kyrie come back 4 zips,
Luka is Kyrie not LeBron.
Hey, we gonna have to bend the knee to Kyrie, bro. Like,
Yeah,
have to say he the GOAT. But I'm just saying, like, if Luka gets swept in the finals, oh yeah, I don't want to hear that nigga name anymore. As far as being,
it happened to LeBron though.
Yeah, I was say you can't.
But not he. But that was a baby Bron when he had me, Kyle, and Shelton on the team. If you got Kyrie,
but Nick, you can't do that though.
Yeah, but
he does have Kyrie on his team, but Kyrie got to show up.
Yeah, but LeBron took Booby Gibson and Anderson Varejao to the fucking finals.
But nobody's saying that Luka's LeBron, but you still got to talk about it. I mean, like you said, he went through a gauntlet to get where he is. So you can't just bypass the fact that they played all those tough teams to get there. And you can't bypass the fact that Kyrie has looked like boo-boo this whole time.
No. Because like this is why I brought up the expectations changes when you get to these levels, right? That's why I brought up that question on Tuesday about the Minnesota being is a disappointment at the fact that they didn't get far. Like, yeah, it was because our expectations changed once they got past Denver. I want going off of our expectation that we had when the playoffs first started, because of course we didn't even expect them to get past Denver, but when they did, it's like, all right, now we gotta look at you differently. The Mavs got past Timberwolves, and now we looked at them differently. Yeah, I'm looking at this nigga differently if they get swept. If you don't get one game.
Nah, man, you're a 6 seed. You can't look at him different. I ain't saying
don't do that.
I mean, you know what I'm saying is you got to break it down according to how he plays. Now, if he keeps turning the ball over like this, then we can have a discussion about that part.
I break it down. I break it down. No, I break it down. I break down on what the stage is. This is the finals. We grade everybody hard on the finals. I don't give a fuck who you are.
What you got, Kyle?
Well, you got to keep this in mind, Nick. Like was predicted Dallas to even be here. So I think you got to give them some prop. I don't think anybody would have told us that Dallas would have been in the finals, when the playoffs started. Nobody predicted that they'd make it this far. So they're playing with house money. They still have a legit shot to win. But even if they get swept, I don't think that's an indictment on Luka.
I give Jason
if Luka
Kidd
played
credit.
like Kyrie was playing, then it's a different story.
I give Jason Kidd credit because he coached his ass off. He coached his ass off. What has Luka done that's different from what we've seen before?
Well, he's gotten his team to the finals.
No, but I'm just saying, but he got him and Kyrie got their team to the finals. It was like Lucas is all Lucas again. Lucas
doing it. Let's say Kyrie doesn't do anything from here on out, and Lucas is 30.
That don't mean he'll be. I look at him the same way y'all looked at KD when they took that OKC team to the finals and they lost 4-1 to the Miami Heat when he averaged like 30 plus, like 32 plus or something like that. No one said shit, and we was like, okay, they're young and they may come. We expect them to come back, and ain't shit happen after that. That's what I'm saying. And we've been looking at KD differently ever since that finals run in OKC. So to me, it's just like we got to keep the same energy. That's all I'm trying to say. Y'all be trying to give out these little participation trophies to these niggas, but nah, fuck all that. If he gets swept, my thing is more about him getting swept. I don't mind if I didn't pick them to win. So obviously, I'm not saying I'll be more harsh if they lose either way. I'm just saying like it's the way you lose. Like you got to at least get one game, especially if you at home.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, Nick, and say, they're not gonna get swept. Adam Silver won't allow them to get swept.
I was gonna say this is a mute discussion because I guarantee you they won't get swept. They're not gonna get swept.
All right,
What's that ref that they call in? Scott Foster. Scott Foster's gonna be calling game. If Scott Foster's calling game 3, you already know what time it is.
Yes,
you already know what time it is.
It could happen. Boston is really good, and they're really good on the road. But I think they should at least get one.
This supposed to be this supposed to be the greatest backcourt of all time. You telling me they can't get
the greatest duo of all time, one of the greatest duos of all time.
Look, that's what I'm saying. You can't be saying all this shit and talking about they get swept in a good run. Fuck all that shit.
No, not good run.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna just wait till the finals over, Nick.
Right.
Real quick, bring 12 Kyle back more often. Appreciate that, Mozzie.
Hey, I'm coming
Kev.
back. Appreciate that. I'll be back.
Yeah, Kev is, I think, clearly a Boston fan because he's been caping for them a lot. I said last show, this is the first series Luka and Kyrie actually have to defend every possession. Both that look gassed in the fourth quarter so far. Yep. Well, Kyrie's been looking gassed
in the first quarter.
Start.
And Luka's conditioning always comes up. Luka's conditioning always comes up when we get to these moments because when you look at him and he look like the gingerbread man in a Dallas jersey, it's like, all right, you could have shaved some weight coming into this later on in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and last one, Wu Young, member for 15 months, appreciate it. Celtics were 12-0 without Jaylen Brown this season, and he doesn't always show up. 2023 Eastern Conference Finals, he averaged 19 on 41%, shooting 16% three-point shooting and 66% free throw shooting. He gets past when he's mid. JT don't. I called him out.
Yep. I disagree with that because I think everybody called him out.
Good
Plus
call.
the fact that Jason Tatum is supposed to be the man. That's the reason why you call JT out more often.
Well, first of all, we talking about his team. We ain't say the NBA. We said his team. He the man on his team. Outside of that, we don't talk about Jaylen Brown and these other conversations.
Right.
Say, like, nobody give a fuck about this post. Like, nigga, yeah, okay, that's fine. For his team, he the best player.
Right.
So, but he's changing the narrative. The narrative's changing definitely. So even Kid tried to throw that out there, but
Kid throw the kitchen sink area. He throw everything. He don't know what to do, bro.
He gonna say Kristaps the best player next. He
gonna say Derek White.
Derek White.
He was like, he don't know what to do. He don't know how to coach against this meerkat he got on the other sideline in mozzarella.
Yeah,
he don't know what to do.
That Christian,
all right, huh? Yeah,
he coach against that Christian.
Well, the prayers are working so far.
Stupid.
It definitely worked for Pritchard, bro, because he threw up a prayer and that shit went in.
Yeah. So, once we see that, it was Kid was ready to go back to Dallas. He
did. Derek White did too from the corner. Derek White hit one from the corner. He threw up.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll be back Wednesday. There'll be a stream Wednesday after game 3, and it might be fiery if Dallas down by 3. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna have a white flag with me, Ken. Wednesday. if they lose Dallas in game 3. If Dallas don't get that win, it's a must win. This is their season on the line right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if Kyrie doesn't score more than 20, I'll be shocked. I will be shocked.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.